Welcome back, it's Ellie and Lucy from Roman Found, and we're on the way to Autumn Detectival 2023, ready for one epic weekend.
It's rally season and we're going to be joining nearly 2,000 other metal detectorists for 2 days of digging, chatting and sampling all the entertainment on offer.
So let's see what we unearth and find out exactly what's in store for us on the 52,000 acre badminton estate in Gloucestershire.
Arriving at base camp for the weekend, first things first, we need a home. And now if you know our previous visits to Detectival, you will be familiar with our dreaded orange 3-man pop-up tent.
This year we are delighted to report that Roman Found is getting an upgrade, a somewhat digging palace compared to our previous shantytown, a Berghaus Nightfall Air 400. We've just got to figure out how to put it up first.
All set up with the help from the boys, it's time to check out the main arena.
Detectival is possibly the biggest digging event in the metal detecting calendar and could easily be the largest gathering of detectorists in the UK. This year they've gone all out with the main arena, creating an amazing atmosphere upon arrival with games from the Kentucky Derby to axe throwing, a DJ on later, and of course the first place we headed was the bar.
The first evening is possibly one of the most important. It's all about catching up with old friends from across the country, so we share a cider with Aaron the Anglo-Saxon skeet hunter, Carl of mental detecting and Ollie the Suffolk searcher. There's one main topic of conversation on everybody's mind, and that is, what field are you headed to tomorrow?
Of course, we had to check out all this incredible entertainment on offer, throwing some pounds to the Kentucky Derby as we race against Searcher Dan and Cy Fines. Top prize was a pinpointer, but sadly none of us quite had the skills to earn those tickets, especially after a couple of pints.
As the evening draws to a close, we couldn't resist the temptation of the 24/7 entertainment of the Magic Teapot tent. Inside this refuge they are serving unlimited tea and coffee and a live band to end the night by the fire in true hippie style.
With dawn of the fresh day, we are not so fresh leaving the tent after ending the night in the Magic Teapot. Of course, we blame the late night on waiting for the arrival of Treasure Nick, who was busy convincing a taxi driver that yes, he did want to be dropped off in a field in the middle of nowhere after arriving late into Bristol Airport.
After some breakfast and much needed coffee, we gather the troops together. Ellie did some important work last night and sussed out that Field 41 was the one to head for, with talks of a Celtic field system and Roman buildings, so we start the long trek with Aaron, Nick, Tom and Nath and the squad in tow. Hopefully there's some finds waiting for us.
The badminton estate is jam-packed full of history. It contains the remains of several Roman villas, it's the original location of the sport badminton, and it has been the principal seat of the Dukes of Beaufort since the late 17th century, with various kings and queens visiting the property for centuries. But what immediately piqued our interest in the research was the discovery of a Roman mosaic pavement that was first noted in 1686 and further excavated by the Duchess of Beaufort in around 1846 to reveal a whole Roman building underneath Badminton Park, with much pottery, coins, bronze statuettes and intaglios being uncovered. So we've got the scent of Roman and we can't wait to get into these fields.
So here we are entering Field 41 nice and early. Thankfully the long trek has put off most of the traffic. It's going to hit highs of 30 today, so we don't have many plans for more hikes. It's time to settle in and see if the research has paid off.
Chris from Found in the Ground has beaten us to the field, and we believe that he may even have something to show us already.
I'm here with Roman Found and they've come over because I have found a Roman. Roman's a Roman.
Roman's a Roman.
I've given it a clean. I can see a little bit of a legend around it, but I don't think there's a lot more left, sadly. But there's plenty of Roman coming up here, so fingers crossed it's a bit better.
See what comes up?
Yeah.
15. Was it first proper find?
First proper find. Good old fashioned ring pull.
15.
There you go.
Big bullet.
Big old. Got some age to it, the bullet.
Oh yeah, nice. Good signal that. Quite strong, 16.
It's quite strange. Is it like the front of a button,
Is it a
maybe?
big button? I think so.
I think so. Big old button front. It's the first proper find. Apart from the rainfall.
Cool. Woohoo! It's quite a big one.
Big boy, that one.
How you doing, Tom?
Good. Haven't found anything, but
We'll get there. We'll get something.
the vibes are good.
The vibes are good.
It's a bit of a slow start for Roman found, and it's starting to seem like we shouldn't have bought the boys. One by one they start pulling up those Romans Chris was telling us about.
What have we got, Tom?
Tom's only gone and found his first ever coin. Look at that, there's even a little bit of detail left on that. That'll be the bust on that side, then it looks like you've got a standing figure in the middle. It'll probably be one of their gods, either Jupiter or I can't remember what the other one is.
Oh my God, so happy for you, Tom.
Tom, that has got to be your oldest find yet.
Nick got himself his first Roman.
You get this cleaned off.
Well
Wow, that
done.
looks like
There's
it has
detail
detail.
on it, yeah. Have you got a spritz thing or do you need Ellie's?
I don't. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
It
you
looks
can
like
see the
Flora
people like
Army type,
standing
yeah,
there.
there you go. That's a beauty, that. You can still see all the text and everything on
Oh
it.
my gosh.
The soldiers with 2 standards, look.
Holy cow. Oh my god, I can't believe that.
buddy.
That's my #1 thing I've ever wanted to find.
Well
Ever.
done, Nick.
Let's go.
Got his Roman.
Finally.
Well on that.
Oh, there's a face on there too on this side. Beautiful one.
Let's see.
Might need to wash it off a little bit.
Wow, yeah. Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh,
That's a great one, that.
I'm
Well done,
All right.
Nick. See ya.
That's it.
We couldn't be more overjoyed that on Nick's first ever visit to Britain he unearths a Roman coin. For a first Roman, there's some pretty amazing detail left on this one. It's actually a Gloria Exercitivus type depicting 2 soldiers standing either side of 2 standards holding shields and spears. This particular type shares a special place in our hearts as it is the same type as our very first Roman coin and now Nick's. Bearing a rosette diadem on its cheeky bust, Nick's Roman was minted at the Lugdunum Mint under Constantine I, dating from 330 to 335 AD. So this Roman coin has actually travelled all the way over here from France, coming from the modern-day city of Lyon, or better known in Roman times, Lugdunum. It was an important city in the western half of the Roman Empire for centuries, after originally being founded in 43 BC, and was home to one of their main mints churning out these coins. To think that this coin was probably carried over in the pocket of a legionnaire. If you're loving our digging adventures, please remember to hit that subscribe button and follow our channel.
Low 20s.
Look at the size of that, Lucy. That is a musket ball.
That is massive.
It's a beast.
It might not be Roman, but we do have our first proper finds of the day, musket balls.
Lead shot is always a cracking signal in the metal detector. Being uniform shapes and made entirely of lead, there's certainly no ignoring these blasting signals. Thankfully, a large proportion of them turn out to be one of our favourite shot finds, the musket ball, and they couldn't be more connected to the land that we are digging in. Badminton Park dates from the 13th century and is home to the Duke of Beaufort hunt, the hunt specifically credited with starting the fashion for fox hunting. It's one of the 2 most famous hunts in the country and dates from the 17th century.
Whoa. Number 2.
That's a beast, that. So it's not surprising musket balls are popping up. The Beaufort hunt is one of the few surviving hunts that remain in private hands. We even saw them parading through on our walk to this very field. Whilst hunting animals with dogs has been illegal since the Hunting Act of 2004, hunts still exist all over the country, simply following specific trails to operate within the law. These musket balls also bear a flattened dash band around the centre, which is known as a setup band, a phenomenon that occurs when 2 or more musket balls are loaded at once into the gun. The balls expand sidewards as they are pushed into each other, flattening the surfaces that are into contact with the muzzle.
It soon becomes very apparent that we're in a good Roman field as some rather incredible Roman finds start popping up around us.
This is a 1st, 2nd century Roman disc brooch. So you can see there's some gold gilding just on the outside of the actual brooch itself. There's some, looks like some green and blue enamelling. The stone would have been there, but unfortunately that's gone.
Amazing.
And on the back you can see the remainder of the clasp pin.
Woohoo! Well done,
quality. No,
Aaron.
thank you very much.
Great find.
My second disc brooch ever, but the first one I had was absolutely battered and annihilated. This one isn't much better, but it's got gilding on it, and
Yeah,
when I
so
give that a
good.
gentle clean, that's going to look quite nice, I think.
Wow, what a find. Well done.
So I thought there was something coming out over there because everyone else is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta check the other spots, right?
We can't let these boys show us up, and it's not too long before we get settled into the zone, pulling up a lovely barbarous radiate Roman dating from 215 to 295 AD, easily identifiable by the spiky crown adorning its bust. And then, which a bit, yeah, look, you can see.
Yeah,
Little
just
stuff,
a little
yeah.
grot.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a radiate head. By the mid-3rd century, the Roman Empire was economically in a little bit of a disarray. Coinage was constantly being heavily debased, and there were many shortages of supply in parts of the empire. So when faced with these shortages and an already poor quality currency, they simply topped up the currency pool with contemporary copies of the official types that they were missing. These are known as barbarous radiates, and they appear in Britain and Gaul, and typically copy coins of the central emperors from Gallienus to Tetricus II. They vary in both size, style and execution, and can often be very far removed from their original prototypes and appear quite abstracted. This coin, however, appears to be quite a competent forgery, and with his clean-shaven, boyish face, bears quite the likeness to Tetricus II.
Okay. Is that Roman number 2?
Looks like Roman number 2 to me. Nice little grot there. Little
Yeah.
figure, I think, on that
Oh,
side.
yeah.
And probably the ghost of a, yeah, little ghost of a head there, look.
They're coming up.
She's on the Roman.
Very good, 13, 14.
There still remains a find that really has us stumped.
Ooh,
It's a wee bit of something.
I don't know, I might have to show Aaron that one.
Yeah.
That looks old. The
Does look old.
patina.
Is that a little eye?
Oh,
Does it look like a little eye?
yeah. The
What's
hell's
that?
that? That is really unusual.
We've explored the avenues of toggles, brooches, strap fittings, bridle bits, but nothing seems to fit with that rather unusual T-shaped terminal. And the fact it's zoomorphic with its little eye, is it human? Is it a fish? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave us a comment below.
Finally in the zone, it's time to give the boys some competition. Roman found is on the Roman.
Little what?
3rd Roman of the day, I think. Bit of detail on that.
Oh, yeah.
We should get some spritz on her. See what
Do
comes
it.
up. That's a nice one.
Woohoo!
A nice head on there. Just there.
Oh, yeah.
See
Oh,
his
yeah.
little bust?
Lovely.
Real nice little bust on that. With his clean-shaven face and chubby cheeks, this little guy comes from the House of Constantine, or Constantinian dynasty period of the Roman Empire, dating from 307 to 361 AD. The House of Constantine references the period of the ruling family of the Roman Empire from Constantius Chlorus to the death of Julian in 363 AD. It's named after its most famous member, Constantine the Great, and under this family, Rome, the centre of the Western world, transformed itself from paganism to Christianity. The empire's frontiers were improved by building powerful castles, and by the end of this period, Christianity remained as the main religion for the future, as Julian met a rather sticky end attempting to restore the previous paganism. Literally just flew out that. That one looks like it's in nice detail, you know.
Yeah.
Let's get the spritz on that one.
Have a look, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a nice head. Oh, glory the army.
Here we go. Double standard.
Double standard. It's a nice one. Next is our favourite type of Roman, the Gloria Exercitivus type, also coming from the French Lugdunum mint, the same as Nick's. However, ours is minted under Constantine II and dates from 330 to 331 AD. This type is possibly one of the most common Roman coins out there, as it was struck in such vast numbers at the time. This was because the Roman Empire had never truly recovered from the crisis of the 3rd century, and inflation meant that they had to strike a much vaster quantity of coins. Its reverse is an important nod to celebrating the military, as the Roman emperors knew all too well that the soldiers were the ones who put them on the throne, and they were also very capable of taking them down. Just look at Constantine the Great, the emperor who first started this particular design of coin, after his reign was only made possible by the Roman army based in York.
We aren't the only ones on the Roman either. Stephen pulls up an incredible Roman Sestertius. just mere feet away from Ellie digging our next hole.
What a denarius.
Suspicious, yeah.
Have you? Yeah. Have you?
Oh, bad boy.
That was a right banger, that was. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. I was getting it out. What, it's all? Yeah, it's a bit roasted, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
Woohoo, that's a beast.
it's a chunker.
Ooh, chunky
Well
lad.
done, Shedikin. I know.
Woohoo!
Two now.
See stuck on it.
Just his head a little bit,
Oh,
see?
yeah.
On the
Big old
Romans.
yeah.
Sadly, it's not as sturdy inside our clod, as a teeny Roman grot appears instead.
Sure, that's a little ball. Oh, tiny. Oh, yeah. Little chap. Lovely. So what does it come up as?
On this come up on the dais to 44 to 47.
Yeah.
And generally, you know, that's sort of like foil area, trash, copper, whatever. But you know, I had to dig it.
Second Roman of the day?
Second Roman coin.
Oh, beauty.
Yeah, there's definitely some detail
Yeah,
on there.
there's a standard on there.
Yeah, there
Looks
is,
like
isn't
the
it?
Glory of the Army type.
Is that with the one standard or two?
Looks like one
Looks
standard.
like one standard, so that's a later edition, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
And they made the coin smaller.
yeah, they did. Yeah, because they couldn't. Was it you told me they couldn't fit the two
Yeah,
on the front?
on.
Yeah, got Sean on the back.
Yeah.
Timmy has followed the Roman rumours and joined us over the hedge from field 40, and he comes bearing finds to show us. What have you got?
Double Roman
Double Roman.
in the same hole. Come out the clod, and they tonked on each other a lot. Yeah, so I was not shaken up there. So here we go.
Real beauties as well.
It's actually really good on that side.
Very nice those.
With the heat bearing down upon us and that high 30 being reached, it was important to retire to the edge of the field for a well-earned siesta.
Feeling refuelled with Haribos and Welsh cakes, and after gathering the gossip from the radio channels, it's time to head back in and graft over this Roman zone we've uncovered.
Roger that.
10-11. We got Ellie. It's a little something. Oh yeah. That looks a bit shiny to me. Cut half. Looks like it. And just as everybody's left the field,
Our first bit of silver
our
today.
first bit of silver. Let's get a spritz.
Well, this is why I love being in here after everyone's left.
Yeah. It's nice that.
Woohoo! Yeah, so happy.
Beautiful.
Who would have guessed that amongst all these Romans was a tiny piece of medieval silver, a half-cut short cross? People have been trampling across this field all day, but we haven't left this spot. We've not even moved more than 20 metres, and now the stubble has been perfectly flattened by all that traffic to reveal its hidden secrets.
Upon Henry II's accession to the throne in 1154, he found the circulating currency in a very unsatisfactory state, as along with the official coinage, a mixture of baronial, foreign and irregular coins, often anonymous or underweight, were freely circulating. He introduced the Tealby penny first, but the production of these was so poor that to remedy this, in 1180, a new style of coin, the short cross penny, was introduced.
First bit of silver.
First bit of silver.
Lovely.
Woohoo!
The design of the short cross pennies was hardly changed throughout the 67 years of their issue, which gave both the coinage and the state a sense of stability that they were previously lacking. But it does also make them incredibly tricky to identify, and it wasn't actually until the discovery of the Eccles hoard in 1864, which contained no fewer than 5,715 English short cross pennies, that an important turning point was made in the chronological ordering, dating and identifying of short crosses. We've identified this one as most likely depicting King John and dating from 1199 to 1216 AD.
I think that's a pretty big one, that one.
Oh yeah.
It's a big lad. Looks like there's some nice detail on it.
Woohoo!
I think. Let's give her a little spritz, shall we?
Yeah.
It's a lot of Romans.
Wow.
Look
oh
at
my
him.
god.
Now that's what you call a
wow,
Roman.
wow.
Is this the find of the weekend? To find out and see what else we unearthed over Autumn Detectival, be sure to catch our next episode. We still have a whole second day of digging to go and some epic finds to come.